dire. Because if you don't control your hypertension, you are likely to get a stroke or even a heart attack. And these things I've mentioned are likely to cause you to die. Okay. I've already talked about diabetes and how that needs to be looked at. All these things that I've talked about for the screening. If you are screening yourself very religiously, even if you get these things, you're able to pick them up very early. And sometimes if you're able to pick them early, sometimes you don't even require medications. Sometimes some lifestyle modifications are enough to keep it in check. Like diabetes, for instance. If we go and we check your sugar and it's high, it's not too high, we call it pre-diabetes. Okay, we'll just have you see a nutritionist or a dietitian, and they'll change your diet. Maybe you implement exercise in your routine, and you are okay. You check every now and then and make sure that your sugar is in check. So this just shows how important the screening is. We are able to pick up on a lot of these illnesses very early and then treat them. These cancers which I've mentioned, like I've said earlier, once they start spreading, you can't do anything about it. But if you come and then we screen you, maybe you are coming annually and we screen you. We do the screen and then we see that you've developed a cancer. Sometimes a small surgical operation is always needed to go and excise the cancer, and then we'll give you some chemotherapy to make sure that everything is gone, and then you are done. But if you let it advance, what it does is it will spread to other sites from different from where it originated. Like I said, once that happens, there isn't much you can do, because you can't go and do surgical operation to remove cancers from different sites. What you'll be doing is cost 90, because they'll recur. And so if we are able to catch them early, we are able to do a lot for you. So please, if we don't leave here with anything, the screening, I would like us to the screening, if it's not something that you already do, I would like for us to book a date at the hospital for screening. If you go, you tell them, just say that you are just there for general screening. They'll know what to do. They'll know what labs to request, investigations to request, and then look at. Okay, if you happen to have any diseases to the other, maybe additional tests that we may add to make sure that maybe everything is in check. Okay, so like I said, if it's not something that is part of your routine, please, after here, let's all pick a date and visit various hospitals, and then book an appointment for a general screening. I'm almost done with the talk. I would like to talk about the habits. I've already mentioned some of them under each of the pillars that I spoke about, but I would like to rehash the habits that we can implement in our daily routines that would help maintain our health for us. So I remember when I mentioned the physical health, I spoke about exercising. It's very important. I mentioned it's inexpensive. Basically, you don't pay anything to exercise, and it's the biggest medical intervention, or the greatest medical intervention you can use, better than any medication that we can give you. So exercising is important. Another thing is also the water. I mentioned water, that we do not replace our water with any beverage or drinks. Okay, you are expected to take about 8 glasses of water each day, or 3 liters each day. May helps with your body's metabolism and your other health systems. On the mental and social side, um, self reflection is important here. Okay, um, sitting down with yourself and then asking yourself, you do a small assessment of yourself. Ask if mentally, if you have any problems. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with having a mental disorder, and that stigma which we have attached to having mental problems, please, I'm hoping that we can strip that stigma away. Okay, because it's something that affects a lot of people, and because of the stigma, they are unable to seek uh, professional